do not go back to the things you were doing. Maintain that pace. The fire that you have received, not pouring water. See that fire emoji? Today I am here to cast myself what you should not do after a fast. Hi, welcome. My name is Moya Sare and welcome to my big space on the internet. If you're new here, I am so happy to have you here, and I really hope that you like what you see and you find life and life. And if you're an OG, if this is not your first time here, I'm so glad that you're here. I missed you and I'm really also happy to have you here. Today we're going to do a sit down video. I've not been a fan of sit down videos. I've never done one. I tend to ramble, which I'm already doing. But I spent 3 days fasting, and by the last day I was giving myself, oh, I'll fast for the rest of August and this and that. I don't like to give space to the flesh and all of that. Well, today I am here to cast myself. Yeah, this is what really happened after the 3 days fast.
One eternity later.
So even with all the mouth that I was making and all the yada about how I wouldn't give space to the flesh, I did. And it just made me realize, I think it's been 2 weeks now. Yeah, like 10 days. That's almost 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks now since then. I just realized that some people may not know what to do after a fast. What not? Okay, you may know what to do after a fast, but you may not know what not to do after a fast. And so today we're going to be discussing what you should not do after a fast. Per the video, I went back to a lot of stuff that I was doing before the fast that I said I wasn't going to do after the fast. So what should you not do after a fast? It's just one thing, actually. Just one thing. Everything else is subtopic under that one thing, but it's just one thing. Do not go back into what you were doing. That's all. And I don't mean that you never go back to eating 3 times daily or you never go back to watching a movie. I just mean that do not go back immediately. Don't just throw yourself into everything that you were not doing before. You see, we have this idea that after a fast we are stronger and we are on fire more and everything. But you see, after a fast is your most vulnerable. It's funny because Jesus, when the Holy Spirit led him into the wilderness and asked that he should go for a fast, he was fasting throughout the 40 days. The enemy did not come and tempt him. It was literally after that 40 days that the enemy came and tempted him. And that's literally how it is. You could have felt on fire throughout that fast and felt your best, and you think that as you're coming out, you see that fire emoji. As it's not emoji, it's a sticker, but that fire sticker, you think that is you. That is you, sure and good. But that you is what the devil is coming to take back to the previous you if you lose guard. If you lose guard, and so don't throw yourself back into what you were doing before. And that means that if you did a food fast, maybe spend the next 1 week on a 2 per day square meal or 1 per day square meal. Don't just say that. Don't think that you have not eaten all this while and you're craving it. You just start feeding. You see, you're giving your flesh muscle. It's just like going to the gym. You're literally giving your flesh everything that is asking for, And so when the devil comes with temptation, you lose guard. There is nothing, because your flesh has now been heightened in that sense. Another thing is, if you did a social media fast, don't just go back and download your Instagram and your YouTube and just spend hours watching it. You're already in a vulnerable state after a fast. Going back to the things that you were doing just like that just means that you're getting yourself less vulnerable instead of heightened that you expected that you were. And that's not what you should be doing. You should be giving yourself space to marinate. It's funny, but yeah, you should be giving yourself space to marinate. If you can continue in that height and level of consecration that you have placed yourself, and I don't mean that, okay, just continue in the sense of fasting, but it's just like if you were spending 4 hours or 3 hours on social media earlier, and then during your fast you were spending 1 hour, you could, after your fast, 1 hour 15 minutes or 1 hour 30 minutes. I'm just saying, don't just throw everything back in just like, oh, I'm done. You see, there's the thing that we do that, like, once you're done, you see the K-dramas that you've not watched, you just go back and start binge watching. You're doing yourself more harm than good, because I believe that if you were sent on a fast, whether personally or by the Holy Spirit, it was because you were in a space of spiritual wilderness, or there's something that the Holy Spirit wanted to get from you. And so if you have gotten that thing back, what you should be doing is nurturing it, fanning to flames the fire that you have received, not pouring water. And so if you just throw yourself back into whatever it is that you fasted from, you have to you pouring water on the fire that you have received. So what should you not do after a fast? Don't throw yourself back into the things that you were not doing. Don't use that time after a fast to just fulfill fleshly desires and all of that. Rather, use that time to fan the flames. Use that time to, it may not just be like, oh, you're continuing in a fast, but you're just taking it gradually. You're marinating on the words that the Lord told you. You're marinating. And you guys, I feel like I'm calling myself out though, because I feel like I'm calling myself out because with the video that I already showed you, so that's not what I did. Maybe for the first few days I did that, but recently I have just been scrolling on YouTube and all of that, and just finding myself in a place where, like, I'm walking myself back into that spiritual wilderness that led me into a fast before. And we're not trying to take one step forward and take 2 steps backward. We're trying to move forward consistently. It's not a matter of, oh, you go up and then not like that. We are moving forward consistently. So if you just finished a fast and you're already planning on going back to the things that you were not doing, I use food and social media as examples, but people fast for like different things and different reasons. I don't think this maybe applies if you fasted because you wanted something from God and you've received that thing. But I'm saying, in a sense of consecration and in a sense of seeking the face of the Lord and intimacy and all of that, then this applies to you. Do not go back to the things you were doing. Maintain that pace for as long as you can manage. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you learned something. I hope there was life, there was light. If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this video. What are your experiences with fasting? What do you do after a fast, and what do you not do after a fast? And if you like any other videos like this, please suggest in the comment section. Bye, cheers, ciao, auf Wiedersehen.
Oh, Father in heaven.